Hey, how's it going? So as promised, as part of patient concierge services, we will be providing some helpful videos to help you prepare for your up and coming surgery with any pre-surgery nerves or anxiety, or even just like the practical and planning for, you know, payment and things like that. So the very first video, I think there's about 7 or 8 videos in total, and today is the first video. And I'm going to be talking about travel tips. So forgive me for looking down, but I don't know them all off by heart, and don't worry about writing these down with pen or paper because they'll be underneath the video, all mapped out, so you can just go back to it as and when you need to. So yeah, you're coming over. Most of our patients come from Australia. So, you know, you've been to Bali before, or you're well travelled, so you've got a general good idea about the things to pack, but obviously you're coming for surgery, so this is a little bit different. So one of the things that I think is a really good idea to bring is a pillow that smells like home, that is comforting, and depending on the surgery that you haven't done, it may be like a certain shaped pillow, like a V pillow or something that props you up, that supports your recovery a little bit better. So have a little think about whether it's worth packing a pillow, because of course they're quite bulky and they can take up quite a lot of space. But you know, this is going to be a vulnerable time for you, and it might be quite nice to have something that smells like home, to add a little bit of almost like a hug when you need it. So other things to pack to support with your recovery is ice packs. So you can get like these face gel packs that you can pop in the fridge and they'll freeze, and it's really good to use those the first few days after surgery. Always go with whatever the doctor says, because he's medically trained and I'm not. I'm going off things that I've learned from other patients and things that I've learned through my own surgery. But I believe that the first 3 days post surgery can be relieved with some ice. But of course you can always ask your doctor. Wear loose clothing the day of surgery and for a few days afterwards, so you're not struggling with buttons or getting in and out of clothes, so make sure you pack some of those. And some gentle laxatives. It's really common to be struggling with constipation a few days afterwards, especially if you're going to be bedbound or not moving around as much. So just some very, very gentle, I think it's called Dulux or something like that, but it's different in every country. What we have in England will be different to Australia as well with Bali, but just use something that supports you, that doesn't cause cramping, and it's very gentle, even if you just have a really rich diet with fibre, with like chia seeds and lots of fruit and nuts and vegetables. That really helps keep things moving. Other things is earplugs and eye masks to help to support you to have deep sleeps, just in case there's any lights in the room wherever you're staying, you know, like fire alarm light or aircon light. Sometimes those things can be really annoying. So if you've got like an eye mask, and it's okay to wear one, depending on the surgery that you've had done. If you've had upper bleph, probably not, or lower bleph. It can be helpful to just block out any light, and then obviously earplugs to block out any sound. Also, it might be worth bringing some antibacterial wipes and gels, just in case you really don't feel like getting a shower or a shallow bath. You can just kind of sponge yourself down, or if you, you know, one of our helpers can help with like a bed bath if you really need it. Other things to bring is a stylish hat, scarf and sunglasses, especially if you've had a facelift. It's really good to kind of just cover it all up, and it means you can still go out in public and you're recovering in style, and you're less self-conscious of people looking at you with your bandage on. But you know, if you're familiar with facelift in Bali, you'll see that loads of people very confidently walk around with the bandage and their compressment garment on, with hat and scarf and sunglasses, and it doesn't faze them at all. If you like essential oils, they're usually quite good to bring, especially like peppermint if you think you might be nauseous, or lavender to help you sleep. Other things that might be quite like zesty or uplifting, like orange or lemongrass. So if you've got any of those, it'd be really nice here to bring some of them in and just rub them in your hands and just breathe it in, and it can be very soothing when you're suffering. Let me just have a little check on my list. Obviously sunblock, but coming from Australia, I probably don't need to say that. And mosquito repellent, again, if you're coming from Australia, you're probably used to putting it on, but the mosquitoes in Bali are different, and dengue fever can be quite high here. So definitely bring mosquito repellent. If it's got DEET in it, it's usually stronger, but just check that you're not allergic to it. You can also get like these little stickers that you can stick on your clothes that can help, or hair bubbles with mosquito repellent. If you don't want to spray any on your skin, there's like loads of different ones, so just have a little look at your local pharmacy and bring plenty of those over, because there's obviously you don't want dengue fever, but you certainly don't want to be scratching and be uncomfortable with any bites. A couple of other little practical tips are, ideally leave any jewellery home in Australia, because if you're going from hotels to hospitals and then back to hotels, and if you're staying in hospital 2 nights, yeah, they all have safes, but I don't know how secure they are, and patient concierge services cannot be responsible for anything that is lost, and we don't really want to hold on to any jewellery for you, so it's best to just leave them at home. And a couple of final tips is practical tips. So just in case the internet isn't very good or you don't have any, bring your laptop, bring your iPad, or you know, if you've got any other device, download some movies, books, and music, and also think about how you can support yourself with internet. So you can get like roaming packages with your current provider usually, and you could just say, listen, I'm going overseas, I'm going to be overseas for 2 weeks, what's the best package that I could buy? And then that way you can just have your phone on all the time, should you need to, I don't know, speak to your driver when you first get off the aeroplane, or you know, get in touch with us if we're sending a driver for you. It's nothing worse than being in the airport and having no internet, and your driver's waiting for you and you can't find him and he can't find you. But usually they have a sign, so that's not normally a problem. But if you can get a roaming package, or you can get eSIMs, which you can buy online, but that might be, if you're not very techie, that might be a bit tricky to do. Or you can pick up a SIM as soon as you land in the airport, and they can do it there and then for you, when it's really cheap, the internet packages over in Indonesia. And then last but not least, if you've never been to Bali before, there are 2 or 3 apps that I highly recommend, which is Grab and Gojek, and they're a little bit like Uber, and they also can deliver food as well. And Google Translate. Google Translate comes in very, very handy, although a lot of people do speak English here, but not all, or it might be broken English, or they might just... one thing that I've noticed about Indonesians, they're beautiful, kind, humble people, and they don't like to say no. Sometimes you can say something to them and they say yes, and you think they've understood you. Well, they haven't. They're just saying yeah because they want to please you. So it's really handy to get Google Translate on your phone. It's so easy to use. You just put in your sentence in your native tongue, assuming it's English. You hit the button and it plays it in Indonesia. As soon as you chose it, they can either read it, or you can press the speaker and it'll play it out loud. And then if you're asking for something in the pharmacy or in your hotel or in the doctors, or doctors or nurses, then they can understand that for you. So I hope that helps. And the next video that will be coming out will be on mindset and managing nerves. So that will come out tomorrow.